Welcome to Dynamics Corner. This is Chris.
And this is Brad. This episode was recorded on December 21st, 2022. Chris, what a year.
What a year. Merry
32
Christmas,
episodes.
man.
Merry Christmas to you and your family. 32 episodes, 20 guests. And today we had the opportunity to speak with many of the guests from the previous podcast to have a year-end roundtable.
For the first time ever. I don't think I've ever seen this done before, but this is one of the biggest podcasts we've ever done. I think I've ever seen as well. So I'm excited.
Yes,
exciting one.
Yes, it was a very exciting podcast. I was looking forward to it. Unfortunately, we had some fun and festivities planned, but it gives us an excuse to do it again because of my, inability to pull it off. I guess now I know in the future what to do. But what we have today is the Dynamics Corner podcast year-end roundtable. 2, 1. You ready?
Yep. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, connecting audio.
Mr. Dave Weiser, how are you doing?
Love the sweater, sir.
Like the Christmas sweater. Lindsay, welcome. Mr. Chris DeVisser. Anthony, I love the sweater in the background.
What background?
Your Christmas tree.
Did you
Santa
hire
chair?
someone to set all of that? That's actually really nice, man.
That's all real. What's
Yeah.
going on, everyone?
Hey,
You
everyone.
mean you don't have the kind of bricks that Brad has?
Exactly. They're back there. They're just we paint them for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Festive.
Oh my gosh, I need to go get my Christmas sweater. Hold on.
I think you do. I really think you do.
Oh, that's so fun.
Lindsay, you didn't have to hide your camera.
I missed the memo.
You missed the memo? The memo, Chris, the memo stated that I'll be wearing my ugly sweater. Will you?
Yeah, I guess I missed it by design.
And Mike is not wearing it because he's in Arizona, so he'd be sweating.
That's right.
Do you have a Christmas shirt on?
It's green.
I got green. I got snow even on it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
There
there's
you
several
go.
people waiting to get in.
Best I could do. It's Chicago Cubs, I think.
Oh,
The
Chicago
Cubs.
Cubs Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Ashley.
Look at that. Look at Steve. Where's he
Steve,
walking
Mr.
to?
Chinsky, where are you? In Orlando?
I'm in Hollywood Studios. walking
Hollywood
around,
Studios.
Oh wow.
Wow, that sounds fun. Steve.
doing the holiday walkthrough.
Okay, we have a few more people coming in. I did start the recording already just to let everybody know. I know a lot that I have people that I've spoken with before. I mentioned that we come in hot so we don't miss any content, but
Steph, how are you?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm good. How are you?
doing very well. Doing very
Good,
well.
Good.
Who has the dog?
It's me. It's my chief marketing officer.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, wait a minute, Steve, you need to duck your head a little bit. We need to see what's on top of your hat. Oh, there we go.
Antlers. Who else we got here?
We have Camille is coming in. Brian.
Brian.
I didn't get the memo about the holiday sweaters.
Brian, we just went through this. If you were on time, you would have heard me say to Chris,
Go ahead
that
and change.
the memo stated, look at Steve live from Orlando even has his holiday reindeer hat on. And Brian, I'm going back to when we were able to speak on the podcast. Today's the big day for your announcement.
Oh man, I forgot I signed you up for that, Brian. So we better come up with something. Also, Brian, we did have one person leave to get a Christmas sweater on, so it's not too late.
That's exactly what I'm going to do right now. So the camera's going off, and it'll come back on with more appropriate attire.
There you go.
Man, you guys can't
All right.
sing, by the way, so please don't sing. All right, you know.
Only
I mean,
for you.
this is holiday time, so you know.
There you go.
There you go. Look, you got Andrea.
Andrea's coming in too. Welcome to the party.
Kristen,
welcome to the party.
welcome. We got Camille too.
Yes. We'll get this party started. And then,
Oh, you got a Christmas shirt with lights on it too.
look at that. Ashley has the Santa. Is that my picture on that shirt?
Well, were you supposed to dress up
Yes.
and I didn't get the memo?
There's still
Oh my
time.
It's a good thing I'm
Everyone
recording this.
is wearing
It's a
sweaters,
good
guys.
thing that I'm recording this because everybody is talking about how they missed the memo. Camille, did you miss the memo?
He missed the audio.
There's a lot of people. Kristen doesn't. She's not Christmassy. So.
Nope. She's running out of the camera.
She's running
getting
out of
ready.
camera. I was like, I don't.
There you go.
Oh.
There she is. She's
Well,
back.
I'm just going off camera.
Yeah, everybody's hiding to go get their sweater.
Hey, Kristen, I think Stitch just passed by me 2 seconds ago. He did. He just walked by. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm in Hollywood Studios right now. Sorry.
So I'd like
That
to
sounds
thank
fun.
everyone for joining us today. As you all know, I sent out the notice to have a year-end roundtable podcast. And, Chris and I started this podcast during the summer just to, share with the community, get to start talking with individuals from the community to learn more about users, ISVs, partners, and just, share community knowledge. So I wanted to send an invitation to everybody that we had spoken with. Over the course of the time, we've had 20 guests and 32 podcasts because some of the podcasts were more education, which we're going to shift back to doing more after the new year. But I wanted to get everyone together to, one, thank you for your time, as well as take up more of your time. And hopefully just get everybody together to talk about the 2022 year in review, and also look forward to 2023 and just have a general conversation. And I will admit, I did put in the invitation that we were going to have something fun. And Chris and I had a conversation beforehand if I should have mentioned it or not. I did have a poll questionnaire for us to do a contest, but I could not figure out how to do it in Zoom to where we could all answer the questions individually. Steve's laughing at me, but we'll go through and I'm not certain who knows whom here, but I just want to go through and give everybody a quick introduction, and then we can talk through it. And I liked and I appreciate everybody that went and got their, Christmas attire or festival holiday attire as part of this. We have with us, I'll go from what I see, we'll go alphabetically on the list there, or what I see on the list. We have Anthony from Cosmos Data Solutions. And he has hello, Mr. Anthony, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, thanks for having us back. I'm surprised you did. So we didn't do too bad, I guess. Yeah, of course, I'm getting laughed at. Everyone knows me too well on here, so there we go.
Who invited this guy?
Yes, exactly. Honestly, I just found this link, but yeah, thanks for having us.
I'll send each podcast invitation to you, and you can crash anytime you want.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Brad.
You're always welcome. And then we have Mr. Mike Brenneman from Sana. Mike, I like the jacket that you picked up.
This is Christmas cocktail.
Christmas cocktail? Do you have a Christmas cocktail?
Yeah, I missed the memo too, but I went Christmas cocktail. I don't have an ugly sweater.
Well,
Chris DeVisser borrowed mine actually.
He borrowed your ugly sweater. I think he did a good job on it.
I think this jacket was a leftover from your previous job, or not? Something with a mention.
Excuse me, Usher, can you please seat me over here?
And then we have Ashley Gigier from Ashley with your sweater with a picture of me on there. Converging Technology Solutions. Oh, I thought it was a picture of me. I wish somebody would have had a picture of me on there. Mr. Dave Weiser, what is your shirt?
Had to borrow my son's Silent Dwight shirt, so you
The
can't see the
Office.
bottom, but Dwight on the bottom.
Love it.
And then we'll go over to Mr. Chris DeVissa from. Go ahead, Chris. I know where you're from. Continue.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
upset Mike, so I had to just say you're from somewhere.
Yeah.
Because,
No, that's okay. I was just going to give you a moment of shame there too. I could have filled in the blank quickly, but I didn't.
No, I didn't have a moment of shame. I was trying to see. I didn't want Mike to start sending, lasers over at my direction. But no,
He's
but
a couple states away. It's fine.
Thank you for joining us. Lindsay Kokesh from VersaPay. I'm thankful that you went and got your Chicago Cubs holiday sweater in your fancy new office that you have there. Thank you for joining us. Andrea Hermanovia, where is your sweater?
I changed into at least a red sweater, right? So at least now it's like kind of festive. This is my 9-year-old sweater, because his clothes are in the same office I'm in. So
Everybody that's wearing their children's clothes, I don't know what to say about them, fitting or not fitting or what. But Andrea, I will say, of all people, I expected you to have the most festive attire.
Oh,
so we're all disappointed is what
I
I'm
know.
saying.
I was like, letting it down. I didn't know. I'm not even sure I have very festive attire. Not to lie, I wanted to get the one with the big muscular Santa that's like swolmus, but I did not purchase it in time.
And then we have Mr. Steven Chinsky live from Orlando on vacation from his iPhone with his holiday festive reindeer hat. How you doing, Mr. Steve?
Doing good, Brad and Chris. Happy holidays, everybody. And it is fun. A year in review. I love it.
Yes.
Seeing all the faces and the holiday spirit here.
And of all people, you are the closest to me, yet I see you never.
It live free or die, buddy. Come on, free or die.
It is live free or die, but I almost wonder if you avoid me. And then we have Brian Peterson, Anthony's partner over at Cosmos, and Anthony and Brian. I'm teasing them because everybody that I speak with know that I always say that we need to have some big reveal on one of these podcasts so we can say we heard it first. And Brian vowed to me on recording that one time when we speak they'll drop something huge. So
early 2023. Stay tuned.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. Chris and Mike also committed to that as well. Naveen wasn't so willing to admit or commit to releasing something new. How are you doing, Naveen? Besides being muted and wearing
that's the word of the year right there.
We still can't hear you.
Word of the year. You muted.
Hey.
There we go. Thank you. We gave you a few seconds. I was ready to kick you from the meeting because
I was just here to listen, you guys, not to talk. But sorry, I'm still in my boring sweatshirt. But my stuff is coming today. We are doing a Christmas video tomorrow, so it's still on my way. Maybe if we are doing again, I'll be in my Christmas attire.
Well, I definitely would like to have you back on again. Then Kristen, who joined us last week, who also has her holiday sweater on. Yes, with Stitch, Merry Stitchmas. Oh, and she has a Stitch with her. How are you doing, Kristen? And I hope that you have your cuckoo clock with you this time.
The clock is still in the other room, but I'm doing well. Thank you for having me back.
Oh, thank you for being back. You also have an open invitation. Everybody has an open invitation, but I enjoy speaking with everybody. Camille from Data Courage, welcome all the way from over the pond, as they say. You're muted too, I believe. Or maybe not.
It's a lag from over the pond. It's coming.
Called difficulties.
Camille, Are you with us? Are you still hanging from the Poland loss to France?
I think I'm with you. No?
Yes,
it
now
okay?
you're with us. Thank you. I like the hat. Camille.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, it took me a while to get to the other side of the pond, but you know, we're here with the voice, and you know, you've seen me but not heard me. Yeah, and I got my hat. I told my kids to run and bring it for me because I didn't read the note as you know, as others. So sorry for not reading the emails thoroughly.
I think this goes, it proves that, you know, if you send out an email that people do not read the bold sentence at the bottom of the email that said, "I will wear my holiday sweater. How about you?" But that's okay. I'm just teasing everybody. And then we have with us Steph Hilfer from Vim.
Hi.
Great marketing coordinator. Now, Steph, this time, because everybody can see you and we have the video, can you please do what you did with us when you were on the podcast and go through your explanation of
what is Vim?
What is Vim?
Everyone's on the like, uh-oh, what is this? We're talking about clothes here. No. So my business is Vim, and it stands for Visual Intentional Integrated Marketing.
That's beautiful. When
Vim
we were
or Vin, it shows Vin at the back.
Yes.
It's
Well,
combined. Oh yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Because integrated
cool.
marketing is kind of a concept. So
It's
the I and the
combined.
M, yeah.
So when we were doing the podcast with Steph, we did not record that video. We did do a video on the last podcast because Kristen and Shannon forced us to. We talked about doing audio only, and both Kristen and Shannon said, no, we're doing video. So we will do video from this point forward. So Kristen, you and Shannon both can take credit for forcing us to move to video, and we'll increase the production studio. And as Mike pointed out,
It just means more work of editing for me. That's what it means.
That's okay. Chris does the editing, I do the talking, and then my background, I don't know why the camera keeps moving, looks like a fisheye, but I'll have to correct that too. But
I don't think we're thinking, Kristen, for the cameras, guys. I normally just roll out of bed and work. So I had to get to prep for these camera things.
Well, so Andrea, no lie, Shannon calls me the other day and she's like, we're on the call. Where are you? And I'm like, what call? It's not in my in my calendar. And I had to quickly, like within like a minute and a half, get camera ready. So I feel you.
I'm not camera ready right now, so this is just what you get, guys. This is just me.
I think you are camera ready.
I'd hate to see you camera ready if that's the case.
Yeah.
I normally brush my hair.
No, I'm happy to have everyone. Now, does everyone know each other here? Has everybody worked with each other? I know, Steph, you haven't come from the Business Central community. We brought you in as a guest to talk about the importance of marketing and branding within a business, and it was a great conversation. And then I think mostly everybody else, Andre, who is it? I mean, and Ashley, I believe you may not know many of these because Ashley works with a customer of Business Central that I've known for quite some time, and they went way back. And we spoke with Ashley and Nina, and I chuckle because I give them nicknames. Like I give everybody nicknames, those that know me. So I laugh sometimes when I think of the names. Andre, I will not tell anybody your nickname. But
we have a good mix here. We have got ISVs, partners, customers, outside firms. Yeah, it's a pretty good mix.
So I think it's great. So if anybody would, I mean, I think we can just have like a free-flowing conversation as well. I don't think we can all talk amongst each other. Steve, who's that person behind you?
Is that your kid?
I thought it was
junior developer.
Junior developer.
Yeah, that's a new hire. He's doing new Cal code. He's going back in time.
Steve, while we're talking, I think it would be great for the video if you ran up to a character and you got a character on video with you.
We could definitely do that. We can find one here. We could see if Stitch is out or one of them are out, I'm sure.
I think with you're running around the park, you can.
I think we could do that. We can do walk and talk. So let's see.
You can do walk and talk, and if we could get the guests to talk with us, that would be even a more special treat. But as far as, I mean, 2022 was a big year. I know Business Central, a lot of functionality was released with each year. I know with all of the ISVs on here, some products or announcements were made. Some other ISVs in the community were formed. And I just wanted to take a look back and get everybody's sense or a retrospect of, what were their biggest takeaways from 2022. So if Anthony, we'll start with you because I like to start with you with your vigor. If you could tell me, what do you look back on 2022 and think of your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway from 2022, and thanks for using me as the guinea pig. I'm really glad I didn't sign in as Tony instead of Anthony today. Biggest takeaway, I'll say personally was what a whirlwind, right? We launched a new business and have been hair on fire ever since. But I think what was really encouraging, if I look at the channel in general, is despite all of the craziness, the COVID sort of coming and going or being a part of everyone's life, the, inflation and things we saw with the economy. We didn't necessarily feel it. And I know that may not be the same for everyone else, but it seemed like people were still willing to invest in technology, streamline processes, maybe partially as a part of that, right? Obviously, as economic downturns and things happen, people need to focus on that potentially even more. But to me, it seemed like, resilience was a theme in the channel. I feel like a lot of the faces I recognize at partners and customers and places, they're still there. People found a way to sort of navigate through it. And not that there's not challenges ahead, but I think resilience was a big trend, in the channel that I would certainly say I recognized throughout the last year.
No, great. Thank you. Conference Lindsay, if everybody doesn't know or hasn't heard, everyone should say, yes, I heard the podcast, but we have Conference Lindsay with us. Conference Lindsay, what is your biggest takeaway besides the conference?
Oh man, you were going to tee up my answer, but because that is one big takeaway for me is just in-person events came back. And I think that was key for collaboration between partners, ISVs, customers. And it shows how much you can get done. We do a lot in the remote workforce, but really being able to engage face-to-face was a big impact in 2022. I would say too, not in 2022, but everything leading up to it, kind of what Anthony was saying is there were these forcing factors that I think actually benefited a lot of our businesses. And, basically, I see everyone laughing. I don't think you're laughing at me. I think you're laughing.
We're not laughing at you. Steve,
we get a live report from
he's doing a live
field.
report from Orlando with the chipmunks, I believe. So it's a little, I don't want to say distracting, but it's a little fun. But I'm sorry, Lindsay.
Yeah. So for me, it's, events came back face-to-face, in-person connections, and then really taking what happened in 2020, 2021. I think it showed why businesses need to shift, why they need to really adopt technology, and why you can't wait until something big like that happens, because then you're forced into it rather than making a true business plan around it. So
great. Thank you. Mr. Dave Weiser, I know there's been some big things for you in 2022.
Oh, I don't know. Not much.
Not much? No?
Actually, two things. I think what Lindsay just said, being able to get back together is the big thing, but also just starting my own firm this year too, and kind of working with people. That was a big change for me, but just being able to get with people is a huge, being able to see them, not just on video like we're doing now. So
congrats, Dave.
Thank you.
Doing your own thing.
Yes, and I also would like to say congratulations to Anthony or Tony Bonaducci. You want me to say Tony Bonaducci?
Depends how Italian and gangster you want to go. I'll leave that up to you.
And Brian, to you as well. Brian, do you want to resonate what your 2022, takeaway may be?
Yeah, one of the things that I was really impressed with, going back to the conference theme was, we were at Directions in Orlando in April, and I think us, just like a lot of other folks in the channel, that was one of the first time in a few years that that getting back in person with folks was the thing, and it was really exciting to be able to to see people in person and see how people had weathered the storm of the previous few years, for example. And same thing when we went back to Orlando again, and what was it, October for Community Summit, and just seeing the turnout. One of my concerns, I've always really enjoyed the camaraderie and the in-person events, especially the large ones, where you really get a chance to, bond with folks and have great conversations. And one of my concerns as a kind of post-mortem from COVID was that maybe all that would go away and people would just opt to stay home or save the money or have virtual events, which I think are a lot different. So I think it was really encouraging to see the channel come back together for those types of events.
I too think it was encouraging, but I do feel that there was a different atmosphere from Directions versus Summit. And it's not just because of the context of the conference, with Directions being more partner focused and Summit being, customer focused. I had a feeling that there was more interaction, more fun, and not fun because it wasn't fun at Directions, just seemed to have a little more life to it because everybody, I think, started getting used to being out. And Lindsay drank out of my cup, for example, at the bar, and she didn't really mind, whereas before people would put it back down. So Mr. Naveen, what about yourself and Dynamics eShop? I know you had a lot of great things this year with the eShop.
So the first thing, I think the transformation of the Business Central product, the confidence that we got with the new product. Initially, when Microsoft was putting in all this, hey, let's move into cloud and stuff, right? Nobody was interested in moving into cloud. And I think the COVID gave an acceleration. And at the same time, the product also solidified. I feel more confident about Business Central than before. If I take 2 years back, I was not confident whether the Business Central cloud version gonna be where the on-prem Navision was. But now I think that proves that, hey, Business Central is a solid product. And I got few leads from other partners where they are doing Sage or NetSuite coming into the channel and trying to build products for Business Central. And there's so many ISV products built. Ours was the 7th product when we released our app 3 years back. Now there are thousands of apps in the app source. That proves that this is a solid product. And that made us think in 2022 that we need to invest more and build more products. And we started to do that, and we added a bunch of products in 2022, and we are very excited for 2023 to start promoting this product. So I think we are in a very good track, being in the Business Central and having GP partners coming into this channel. I think future is bright. That's what I got from 2022.
Great, thank you. And you can tell us about the new products when we talk about our 2023 look forward, if you'd like. Andrea, how about yourself in 2022? I hope you have a good story for me. And if you want to incorporate some of your gym stories, if anybody doesn't know or follow Andrea, you have to follow her gym stories.
I always have great gym stories, but I have an accomplishment that I'm very excited for. I deadlifted 300 pounds, which is over 2 times my body weight. So, and if you follow gym trends, that's actually impressive. It puts me in the 81st percentile of like female lifters at my weight. So,
congratulations on that.
I like tell everyone, I'm like, I just met you. I don't know if you know this about me. I deadlift 300 pounds.
That's almost Brad and Chris combined.
So the next time we're at a conference, Mike, you can take the photos, and Andre will put Chris and I on a bar, and she'll lift us up.
Yes. No, I do say they're like gym muscles. So like outside of the gym, if there's something heavy to be lifted, I'm like, no, we're not. That's not what these muscles are for.
It's just for
These
deadlifting.
are gym muscles. They're designed for gym equipment, nothing else.
Got it. So it's really a useful skill to have if you can use it in one place.
So
yes, exactly.
You won't be protecting us when we go to conferences and go out for drinks or food.
Well, you know, I'm the director of Good Vibes at the conference.
Well, but now you're the protector of good vibes too.
Yeah, now I have to defend those good vibes.
Shoot, I thought we had our bouncer, man. I was like, okay, we don't need to go in an Uber. We've got a bouncer. She'll stop the car in the middle of the roadway. We'll get in the car. We'll go to a party. I mean, come on.
She'll pick up the car in the middle of
I'm
the
the one that
runway.
knocks,
I
right?
think that you'll find that maybe she'll get you into, oh, I won't say that. Not out of trouble. She'll get you into trouble. I will say
I know
that.
where all the
we've
parties
known that
are.
all
I'm looking
along.
at you, like Sauna, VersaPay. The VersaPay one time they had this party bus. And you know what? They didn't let us party in it. Nobody was allowed in this bus. And I was like, why have the bus?
Lindsay.
I don't know what
so they
happened
didn't.
there. You can party with me anytime. So
It was Andrea was not allowed in the party bus. That's what it was.
Did everybody else get on that party bus but me?
I believe
no, I don't think
everybody
they
did.
drove that bus anywhere. They didn't allow anyone in it. And it was like, well, that is the most disappointing use of a bus I've ever seen.
If it was in Houston,
Phoenix.
I think they stopped us from using it.
Phoenix.
Who stopped you?
No, Houston. I didn't get to go to Summit this last year, which was a big bummer. I went to Doug, which was fun. I had a great time there. So
It's another great
that
conference.
is the most interesting dichotomy is the two different user groups. I'm curious how that will play out.
So is that part of your 2022 retrospect? But I also would like to thank you for your contribution, and I'm still waiting for the next one.
Yes, yeah, and that was my first year as a partner the entire year. So
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it was different. So but it's good. It's been good. And then hopefully next year my retrospect will be I won a powerlifting tournament. That is my goal.
That's a good goal to have. Mr. DeVisser, how about yourself over in New York?
Yeah, it's kind of getting boring, but I think also like the general vibe around BC.
I hope the podcast's not getting boring. We can liven it up a little bit.
I'm just echoing what everybody's
lifting.
saying.
We're done.
Yeah, I will never win a lifting competition. I can tell you that. Just a general vibe around BC, how everybody's like so excited, and it's actually proving to be a success. I think if we see the amount of customers onboarding on BC, it's crazy. If we didn't have automation, we had to stop them at the door. So not to brag in any way, but if that's an example of how things are going in the channel, and what I heard too at Directions EMEA, the vibe in general was insane, back to the old Navision days, predating Microsoft. I hope we can all be very successful in this revamped channel.
Okay, thank you. We do have a late attendee to this podcast. I knew that he was going to be late, but I think what we can do is once I admit him and he comes in, is we can all give him a way to be late, Ryan, and just make him feel really good. So I'm going
Poliniak?
Yes, Mr. Poliniak is
everybody's unmuted.
Absolutely.
So everybody on we have to say way to be late, Ryan. And once he pops up and we can see the audio. And here he comes, connecting the audio. It's still connecting. See, this is like suspenseful. We'll continue with everybody else.
He also overseas?
Say it again.
So is he also overseas? What's going on here?
Way to be late, Ryan.
Way to be late, Ryan.
Way to be late, Ryan.
Come on now. Demos
Good.
come first, guys. I got it.
What? Even on video, guys.
You're on Western computer time over there.
No sweater.
Festive hat and the wreath.
I do have a wreath. It's got little lights on it too.
How come they're not lit up?
Quite festive, actually.
We can forget this in time.
Kristen,
awesome.
Kristen, what about you in 2022? I was hopeful that you ran and got that cuckoo clock, but we'll have to have you back on again where you have it, or you can just do me a favor and post a tweet of it later so I can watch it and I will comment on it so I can say that I saw it, but I want to hear it go off like 11 times or something.
Okay, I can do that for you.
All right. So how was your 2022 looking back? What's your big takeaway from 2022?
I think the biggest takeaway is just community. I had the opportunity to attend 4 in-person events, and the community is strong and everybody is just eager to learn. And I've had some closed door meetings with Microsoft as being part of a Microsoft MVP. And I'm just super stoked about the things that are coming, and Microsoft is super stoked about the things that are coming too. So I think, everybody on this call that is in the Business Central space, I think, we're going to have a fun next few years, and you're going to have to hold on tight.
All right, great. Thank you. Mr. Brenneman, with your cocktail suit, sir.
It's been a big year, man. I've done 2 more podcasts this year than I've ever done before in my entire life.
Wait a second. I hope you're counting this as number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Of course.
I was going to say, if you're cheating on us already, then I know Steph has a podcast, so don't let her try to recruit you and talk about your business. Nobody else, please.
I just sent my resume into Twitter for the CEO position, so I got big aspirations for next year.
So you're one of the people that are foolish enough.
No, I looking back on 2022, I'll echo Anthony Bonaducci with the resilience. I think, and by the way, I think we've had a little bit better than some of the other regions of the world too. 7.9% inflation is nothing compared to like Sri Lanka and what's going over there right now. But I want to give a shout out to everybody over in Ukraine. I know Innovate has a lot of people over in Ukraine. We've got 150 developers over in Ukraine. Talk about resilience. There were 2 weeks where they did about 80% of their normal dev work for us. And then they ended up doing 120% the following 2 and made right up for it. It's
wow,
pretty amazing to see. But yeah, it's been a crazy year. But I think, we've weathered the storm pretty well here in the US. And as Anthony was talking about earlier, people are buying and digitally transforming and spending money on tech. And, hopefully we can keep pushing them to do that in 2023 too.
Great. Thank you. Camille, all the way from Poland. You're in Poland now, correct?
Correct.
I don't know if you were traveling.
What do they call Santa Claus over there?
So west of Santa Claus. We've got them. We've got the hats ready and everything else, and it's all packed for Christmas. A little bbit of going through country and visiting parents wherever they are. We're very current on the situation in Ukraine as well, as you may know. Biggest takeaways for us, surely, going back to everything that is not online. And, we experienced Milan and the directions EMEA in Milan, and it was completely different to the one that we had just next year. When you had all the food served properly, and no masks on and things like that, which was just crazy. Obviously, for it was different, very different, and people, you could feel the excitement in everyone just by seeing each other and being able to talk after 2 years. It was a great experience. For us, obviously, in the area of AI, everything that is moving quite fast, it's a bullet train, and we're trying to keep up. So if you think of BC moving fast, the developments in artificial intelligence and Chat GPT, which we're going to be talking about hopefully on the next podcast.
Yes,
this is something really cool. And we're seeing, it's exciting. Of course, there are some other elements in it as well that could be frightening. But we're going to talk about this as well. How far is it really from catching up with our regular dev work, let's say, from different angles. So a lot of the developments in machine learning, AI, and a lot of crazy, interesting projects in data science that we started. and the launch of the app on the app stores, which the customer intelligence, which was a big step for us as well. So yeah, exciting and excited for the 2023.
No,
sure.
great. Thank you. And as Camille alluded to, we do already have several podcasts scheduled with several ISVs and guests in 2023. A lot of you, I know Anthony and Brian, I'll connect with you.
Not gonna let that go.
Well, I'm not letting that go with you two.
I'm realizing a mistake was made. Absolutely. So
We'll line up our schedule after the first of the year, but Camille and Camille will speak with us about AI, chat GPT, and a few other things fresh after the new year. And as I had mentioned, we have a few other podcasts lined up with some of the other ISVs. Ashley, you've been awful quiet. Now we'll put the spotlight on you.
Oh boy.
And you have to, if you could tell us a little bit about, from your point of view, your retrospective 2022 as well.
Yeah. So this was a huge year for me. There were a couple big changes. The first one was in February, my company actually went live with Business Central. We were previously using Nav 2015, and we went to a cloud version of Business Central. I come from a finance background, so I was a director of accounting for the company I work for currently for 7 years, and they developed an internal integration team. And I had a lot of knowledge on how Nav works, so I was invited to be part of that team. So this year, it was a great experience for me to kind of see both sides. Whereas we're not really the customer, it's really my coworkers that I had worked with previously in finance. I have a greater understanding of what they need, how they work, the communication barriers that we would normally see with like a Microsoft partner. I'm coming from, I can help them and train them where, I used to be an end user. I know exactly what they're looking to do. I know what, management is expecting from them. I'm working with, training new companies that we bring on, as well as support and troubleshooting for users on a daily basis. So for me, it's been a really great year to see both sides of the world and really understand what everyone's looking for, trying to help as many people as I can.
Congratulations. It seems like a lot of participants in this podcast had some advancements or some new things this year. Congratulations. And now I'm happy that you know what it's like to be on the other side, not just the customer looking for things, but somebody supporting it and doing it. Mr. Chinsky, sir, I'm still waiting for us to speak with a person in costume other than yourself.
Other than myself, yeah.
Or you could take us on a ride too.
That'd be fun.
That would be cool.
I think I'm
And
actually about to head over to Epcot right now. So from Universal Studios. So.
Well, and also congratulations, Mr. Chinsky. I saw your big face down at Summit, and I'm very thankful that I had a picture of you standing with your face. I think I have to. I'll share that picture later for everybody, if you don't mind, of you being a legend. I'll pick one of the good ones. I'll post that on Twitter.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this year's been great. I mean, I think I might repeat what everybody else has said. I mean, for me, of all the conferences, I think I've almost did every one of them except for a few, but, being part of the board of advisors or the programming committee or content committee for Directions, Dynamics Con Live, Summit, went over to EMEA for the first time. What an amazing conference. I cannot believe it. 2023 is going to be a great year. So if you haven't submitted your sessions, get them in, except for Dynamics Con Live. It's already been done. So we already picked the speakers for that one. But if you haven't submitted anything for Summit or Directions, submit, please. I'd love to see your name on there before we pick the speakers.
Yeah.
But to me, it's been all about community. I mean, I love the learning. I love BC. I don't think I'll ever change. I love the new functionality. Spoke to Microsoft as well, kind of like Kristen, and I think there's a lot of future things coming our way on all different fronts. And for me, I'm a functional person. So to me, it's all about what the users use and stuff like that, since I'm not a technical person, but I think it's going to be an amazing 2023 year all around. Products are going to continue to grow. The number of apps are going to continue to grow. I mean, it's a win for all of us. I think we're in a great space. COVID's kind of behind us. And I think that's probably the biggest positive overall, is that we finally get to see each other, drink, have a coffee, have a beer, and really get back to normal, I call it.
So that means you'll be heading up this way when you get back. Kristen, Steve's close to me and he gets around now too. So I think I'll jump into his suitcase. And Steve, as I spoke with Shannon and Kristen last week about their bedtime tales, and I did see you with your accent. I don't know where that came from, but if anybody wants to see some fun footage of Steve and Shannon and Kristen, search for BC bedtime stories or tales. I thought I was going to see something completely different as it starts off in a hotel room with a bunch of people standing there drinking, but
drinking Polish vodka.
Yes,
that's right.
What is it? Were you drinking Sibiaski? I never got into that. My family drinks that. What is it? Camille, Sibiaski? What is it? Sibeski?
Why am I being asked about Polish? Come on,
because
guys.
Listen,
these
not because you're Polish.
It has nothing to do with you being Polish and living in Poland. Not at all.
We should ask our fathers. I don't know why Sobieski, but he was one of the rulers, and he helped a lot of other nations in the past, and they just of course you would name a vodka after this. So yeah, we've got some different guys like this.
Is that what you were drinking?
There is another one.
Were you drinking Sobieski?
I'll go grab it. I have a bottle.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Thank you. Mr. Ryan Polniak.
Hey, one last thing, 2023.
You can keep going, Steve. There's never a last thing.
After the new year, probably a big announcement, so stay tuned. After 2023, the year changes over. So look out for some announcements on LinkedIn and stuff like that.
There it is. Cool. Mr. Peterson and Mr. Bonaducci, look at that. Another person, right? After all that you were talking, committed to coming on to this podcast and making a big announcement after the new year.
He didn't commit to the podcast. He committed to LinkedIn.
Steve, Andrea, you will now be banned. I was looking forward to you.
We still have the tax seminar to do. Come on now.
Yes, we need to have that podcast.
We got to get Dave on that too.
And we can ask Mr. Weiser to assist. And I'm still waiting for you to write another article.
I know. I got 2 in the pipeline that are coming. Though, what we should be talking about is the marketplace where it says contact me. That is the worst. I'm like, you want me to contact you? Come on, guys. Just put your objects there. Help me out.
Mr. Ryan Polniak, we missed you at the beginning because you feel that giving a customer or a prospect a demo is far more important than speaking with this group of people. Admit it.
I got pulled in and I couldn't do anything about it, Brad. I told them it was for you, but that didn't quite move the needle enough, even though you're royalty around here. 2022 was great. I'd be remiss if I didn't start with my Georgia Bulldogs winning the college national championship. I think there was some stuff that went on with work too, but that was definitely the most important part of the year. We had a great year. Western Computer, Microsoft Inner Circle, Business Central Global Partner of the Year, runner-up. So we had a ton of success, and of course we're looking to build on that. Right? Nobody cares what you did this past year. It's all about what's coming now. For me, the highlight was Summit. I mean, I've seen most of the faces on this meeting. I've seen at summits for years and years. We kind of missed 2020 altogether. 2021 was like not really Summit, and then this year it was people hugging and it was like a family reunion, man. I mean, people were just having a blast, and that whole event was back to being what it's supposed to be. Bringing the community together, learning from each other, and just building those relationships, not just professionally but friendships as well. So that was absolutely a highlight, and look to continue that at the next summit coming in next year. Microsoft's doing awesome things with the platform, all the apps. BC I know is kind of what we're focused on, but FNSCM is they're developing all kinds of amazing pieces on that side. The order management and some of the AI stuff and the integration among the apps is going to blow the competition out of the water. And I will tell you, from what I can gather, our major competition is struggling. I don't know if you guys saw, but Salesforce just declined to provide a revenue forecast for next year. Period. They're not providing one, and they've got executives stepping down left and right. Now, nobody really knows what that means, but it's not good. Anybody could tell you that. So obviously, some of that's due to the global situation, which y'all touched on. Ukraine's near and dear to my heart. My dad's 100% Ukrainian. I'm half Ukrainian. You know, my grandfather came over from Ukraine, so he's not around to see all this going down at 95, which I'm kind of thankful for. But you know, we've got a development team there, similar to what you said, Mike. It's not quite 150 people, but it's a small group of guys that it's really an extension of our company and their family, you know, and it's really tough to see what they're going through. So hopefully that can be resolved sooner rather than later. But business-wise, it was a great year. Lots of success. We had a record year, and Microsoft continues to blow it out of the water. So
that's
looking forward to the new one, man. We got to get up there and hike with you. I know that's coming at some point.
It's all these false promises I'm starting to hear from everybody. I've been listening to you for about 10 years now. Tell me how you're going to come up and go hiking.
About 10 years ago, I started having children, and we kept doing it. So that's kind of taking my free time and disposable income.
So you know, Chris told me that he's flying out here to do a hiking trip with me. You tell me you're doing a hiking trip with me. Everybody has all these false promises. I think one of the big things for 2023 is, what will FNSCM be named this next December?
FNSCM.
I don't know if it will still be FNSCM. Will it be SCM? Will it be field service? Will it be what?
You know what's funny? Every Microsoft person I get on with still calls it F&O, and I guess that's okay. It's a little confusing for me because it was finance and operations. Anyway, who knows, man? We'll see.
It's a benefit of only doing BC. We don't have to spend marketing dollars on all the revamping of the marketing.
See, that is a benefit for doing BC. And we can get into some more of a conversation, but Steph, I do enjoy your podcast, by the way. I will say I don't mind sharing. It does have a lot of vigor. I appreciate it. So from your marketing and branding point of view, and I did learn a lot from you, I appreciate it. What would you say about 2022?
Yeah, well, this year, so like this being in this room right now is exactly why this is what I'm talking about for 2022. I started a podcast, as Brad already told you, and the podcasting world opens this like insane door, as cheesy as that sounds, to just make connections. I'm in a room with
whoa. We don't want any of these people to start a new podcast.
No, don't do it. It's horrible. All of what I'm saying, there's going to be an end. It's a cliffhanger. It's bad. So just, I'm in a room with a bunch of people who already know each other. And this is exactly why I started the podcast. As you all know, as business owners, you need to get in front of and talk to as many like-minded people as possible. And so starting my show this year got me on other shows this year, and just the connections that I've been able to make. Like Andrea, I have to say, deadlifting 300 is dope. I started my weightlift journey like this year, and after a year, 12 months, I can only deadlift 95. So like 300's pretty super impressive.
I hear a competition for December 2023. We have Steph at 95 pounds, Andrea at 300. Kristen, Lindsay, you have to be in this competition, and then the rest of us.
She's deadlifting stretch.
The
good
rest
luck
of us
with your backs, guys. Good luck with your backs.
The rest of us will do it too. We'll see.
I will say, Brad, don't feel too bad if a lot of these people are not coming to see you. Dave Weiser and Steph we're technically neighbors, but we don't ever see each other.
Yeah.
So don't feel too bad.
We need to have a holiday dinner, it sounds like.
Well, and I was going to say, I like to hike. Where are we hiking? Let's do this.
Come. You have an open invitation to
and
come
I have
hike
10
with me.
years, it sounds like.
No.
To renege on this invitation?
No, it's the White Mountains of New Hampshire. You're more than welcome to join me on some hikes. And a lot of people around here, everybody says the same thing. If you can hike in the Whites, you can hike anywhere. You can pick the season. You can come in the winter.
Summertime, Steph. Don't pick the season. Summertime. It's cold up there.
It's really cold right now up here. They do.
You know, we got Colorado people laughing at us because they have a lot of mountains as well here in the Pacific Northwest too, but not as much as Colorado, and they're much colder than many of us here. So, you know,
Ryan,
I'm
they
in
got the
Georgia.
experience.
I'm in Georgia. We don't do the
them.
cold.
The summer's tough too because of the bugs. So the best time is probably spring or fall. The fall, you just have to be careful of the moose because it's rutting season and they like to venture out to mate, and you know, they don't like it if you get in their way. And I don't care how much you can deadlift.
Can't deadlift a moose.
You're not stopping a moose.
Can't dodge an 8-foot rack.
Yeah, 1,000-pound. Yeah, and cars hit moose and they get up and walk away, and the cars are totaled. So there's some pretty big animals. But continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's if you had some more to say. Yeah. Now we're just gonna have a free for all, so it's all over.
I just like overall just making connections with people from around the world. Like I have team on my team, I have team members that are around the world. And so hearing you guys speaking highly of the different areas of the world that are struggling in different ways and having that admiration for your team, I love hearing that. So it's just been an awesome year of making connections. I am envious of you all getting to do in-person stuff because I got none of that. So I'm looking forward to that for next year for sure.
Well, you should come join us all at one of the conferences, and you can have fun.
You'd
with
fit in the
crew.
Summit.
You can fit right in, and you can learn.
I don't know
something.
what FSMCOTLI all those are. You'll have to like bear with me, but
But
nobody
Be able
knows.
to explain that, yeah.
Yeah,
sounds like I'll be in good hands.
You will be in great hands. So you'll be able to say, Mr. Christopher Rieris, we'll have to ask you about your 2022 retrospect, even though I've spoken to you way too much this year.
Too many times. We talk too much. This year, yeah, it's just like everyone is saying, you know, I've been going to these summit local chapters for a long time. You know, Dave and I co-founded the Pacific Northwest chapter, and we go way back. And you know, this year's summit was certainly very different. We got to see a lot of, you know, friends that we've met throughout the years. It's weird. It's a big community, but small at the same time, which is fascinating. And there's certainly a lot of things that we've, you know, this year that, you know, Brad and I did a podcast. We just wanted to just talk, share experience, talk to others out there that are in the same boat as us, and with this whole Business Central stuff and Power Platform. And then just, you know, redoing a blog post. And so just kind of going back into the roots of, you know, I remember the first time joining the community and trying to find content and trying to network. And it was very welcoming. You know, the Dynamics community is very there are a bunch of people that were just very helpful. Western was my first partner that I've ever worked with. So I have a long history with Western and Charge Logic, first ISV that I've ever worked with, and in the payment side, and in Sana as well. I think I met Chris DeVisser a long time ago. I think he was in that space. And so, you know, everybody here I've met throughout the year. So it's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful year. I'm looking for 2023. And yeah, that's my year in review. So glad that we're doing this.
No,
how about you, Brad?
My 2022 year.
Yeah,
oh,
what's
see,
your
now you
2022?
put me on the hot seat. I was not prepared to talk about 2022, but I'll
You bought an
reiterate.
awesome Christmas sweater.
Yes, I did. This is I did try to find a hat, but no place had them. So I just have
You
to
need a
stick
moose.
with
You need a moose hat, buddy. You need a moose hat. Moose hat next year.
I will wear a moose hat for you. I will go purchase
Thank you.
some antlers or some. I'll have a nice big, as Mike put it, an 8-foot rack. And you know, maybe I'll get some moose meat while I'm at it. No, my 2022. I think I resonate with everybody. I think. Every time I look
Moving
at Mike,
on.
I just want to laugh. I just want to laugh because I picture Mike sitting on this. But he told the story when he was speaking with us, sitting on a ball when he was on a video conference, and he fell off the chair in the conference. And I just picture Mike
During a
falling
demo.
During a demo.
During a demo.
So
Yeah, don't ever demo on one of those ball chairs.
So it's I chuckle. And also, I will point it out there. Like if you look at my screen, you have Mike in the low left-hand corner, Chris in the upper right-hand corner. It looks like they're like dueling. There's no gaslighting here. So we're not putting that. No, I think I'll resonate with everybody said. I think 2022 was a great year. I think as far as the Business Central community, I think it seems to me it's from my perspective a little bit closer. I think with COVID going through and people not seeing each other, I think everybody learned how to stay in communication without the interpersonal communication. Not the interpersonal communication, but the in-person communication, building on those interpersonal communication skills. And then when the conferences came about, I think that solidified the communication amongst everybody and everybody working together and trying to be successful. The product is moving quickly, the community is moving quickly. And what I see is a lot of people are working together to become successful because, if everybody on this call is successful, then we're all successful, right? So it's not just one or the other. It's we all can work together to make for a successful product and to become successful. Andre, what are you doing?
I'm trying to see what Steve is doing.
Oh, okay.
I was like zooming in.
I see what you're doing.
Was I like on your big screen and you're like, what is she doing?
You were just like looking up and I just couldn't, you're making faces at me like, geez, what is this guy saying? Like I
was like, I wasn't even listening, Brad. I was just looking at Steve.
He took us on the ride as he promised. So
he is taking us on a ride. I like.
He forgot his skis, I think.
But he's in Orlando and he's wearing a winter coat, which is kind of confusing to me. I don't know.
He's in a tram. Looks like.
Yeah, I feel like we're like hovering over something right now.
See this
the new Skyliner to Epcot.
This was unexpected.
cool.
Like we're going on a tour of. See, you should have told me that you were going to call me. I know you told me you were calling from Orlando, but you should have told me that we were going to have a tour of the park, and we could have left a moment for us to.
I thought you said we were all going to drink around Epcot, and everybody was going to take a drink as I stopped at each country. You promised me that.
I tried to do that at Epcot before, and it didn't go too well. Because there are a lot more places to drink than you think. Than that. So
it's everyone going to Directions this year in April?
100%.
Probably.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Yep.
Camille,
same
you'll be
place.
there?
Yeah,
Same place,
I think.
Orlando.
Last year at the same place. Last year.
So Dave, you're going. Chris, you're
I am.
going. Mr. Bonaducci, you're going. Kristen, you'll be there.
Yep.
Conference, Lindsay. Well, you don't know yet. Last year you
makes it
cheated on us
cut.
and you went over to the Sage conference.
No. That wasn't Direction.
That was Summit.
was-
We
Oh,
were
Oh, the
supposed to
last
have a
conference.
Summit.
Excuse me. No, we saw you. Listen, we won't talk about last
And talk
directions
about
when
stealing people's drinks. That's how I met you. You stole my drink. The first time I met you was at Direction.
That's right.
Wow.
We
No,
said
no.
that coffee drink or whatever drink that you had.
The
Oh,
truth
that
comes
was
out.
at Summit. That
Yeah,
was
that
with
was Summit.
my other coconut drink. I'm
That-
not
Oh,
gonna
that
yeah.
was good, by the
You
way.
are.
No, you ordered it and you wanted me to taste it.
Yes.
So
That's
let's
how I
get-
met Brad too. He stole my drink.
Me too. What the heck?
Maybe we should do a
What's
GoFundMe
happening?
or
It's
something
a
so Brad
theme.
can buy his own drinks.
It is a theme. It
See,
is
that's
a
the
theme.
theme.
He's stealing
How does
people's
Brad-
drinks.
How does Brad survive the conferences and not spend
And
a lot of money?
he steals rounds of drinks from tables. All of a sudden you go by the tables, the appetizers and the drinks are all gone. Where'd Brad go? He's gone.
That's it. And then when you go with Ryan, I say just put it on this guy's tab. He doesn't even know.
Yeah, Brad, the secret is the ISVs. ISVs always, like Anthony one year, there was a two drink minimum. He's
Oh,
handing me drink
yeah.
cards. I mean, that's what you got to do is the
Wait a
ISVs.
second.
Brian Peterson bought me the single best drink I've ever had in my entire life. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a nice
scotch
one.
of some
it,
kind,
it
yeah.
was a scotch of some kind. You remember that?
Yeah, I think it was
Listen,
San Diego.
I didn't
Now-
know
You
it
mean
was
that-
back then.
Now I'm
Brian,
hurt because I
you-
bought Brian a drink at Summit.
Oh, there you go.
He wouldn't
Mhm.
buy me
I-
one.
I am hurt too because I had dinner at the Outback Steakhouse at Orlando Airport with Ryan, and apparently this was better.
Haven't been Outback yet. No question. Sorry, Chris. I remember though.
You know, Brad, one of our crowning achievements that Brian and me and some of the folks pulled off at our previous company was there was an ISV party. It was actually a competing ISV, but they invited us, but they had a 2-drink ticket minimum, and it was at this club. So I just went and bought bottle service, and everyone flocked to our tables. So we had 5 bottles of Grey Goose that night. Our CEO wasn't super excited, but when he realized how many people were coming over and hanging out and networking, it actually was a really good investment. So got to get creative at the conferences.
No, I like that. So you kind of snuck in and did a little stealing there.
I was invited, but yes, I did. I had a
Okay, you
better
didn't sneak in. I'm sorry.
I had a better mousetrap. Okay, that's all. People
That's
like
sort of like, yeah, sleeping with the enemy. I get it. I and that's what they were trying to do, and you did. You brought a better mousetrap. So it seems everyone's going. Andre, you shook your head. You're not going.
No, I don't think I get to go. I should be at Doug Live, but I'm not sure where else I'll be next year.
Okay. And Naveen, I think you're
I'll be
going to
there.
Directions. Ryan, I know you'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
Mr. Brenneman, you'll be there?
Yep.
Camille, you're making the trip again.
Sure. Yeah.
Good. We will all have to have a drink on Anthony. Because he just said that he'll get
Definitely on
bottles.
Anthony.
And Kristen has her vodka up there.
Lovely.
And
Kristen, try this with apple juice. That works best. I don't know if you tried. No.
Yeah, that's what Christoph told me to do is apple juice. But I'll be honest, this goes down like water. You don't need to mix it with anything.
that's the
There's no
problem.
flavor or no.
That's the problem with vodka. It does go down quite
It's
well.
the one with the grass in there, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
it's
bite
got
from grass. Yeah. Mhm.
Got a piece of grass in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to get
Wow.
I need to get a bottle with the grass.
No,
What
that's,
if they-
that's not a problem. I'm coming to Directions, remember? So.
Oh,
Dave,
good.
are you going
Got
to
yourself a
Directions, Dave?
deal.
I am.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Very good. Very good,
So
Dave.
guys,
Yeah, so I'll be
I
able to
heard
give
a-
my drink tickets away at Directions. So
Well, yeah, I've taken Dave's in the past too. But I've heard a rumor that Avalara might be having their conference back in person in 2023.
Wow.
Which, if you've never been to one,
their
it's
Crush
worth going
conference.
to.
Crush.
It's worth even just buying your own ticket if your company doesn't want to pay for it. It's that good.
What's so
Andrea
good
was
about
like Miss Crush for years. She's
I
royalty
know.
there, so she's marketing now.
Now you're
I'm
marketing
I
for
don't
their
work at
conference.
Avalara. They don't know that, and I don't know that either. But their conference is fire. Best
Well, did-
conference, hands down.
Didn't they go to Bali last time or something like that? Or
No.
I want
Molly?
to get on this bus.
Bali.
What?
Wow, Bali.
I mean, I've been to Bali. I don't think they're going to Bali, and I don't think anyone wants to go to Bali anymore. They
Wow.
just passed a new law that's pretty strict.
What's the strict law?
What?
What's the law?
They don't allow non-married people to sleep in the same hotel room, punishable by death. And
Oh.
so
Whoa.
it is an Islamic country, and so it's like very extremist Islamic policies, and especially against homosexuals. So it's not, I don't know. When I went to Bali, it was fun. I don't recommend Bali anymore.
Interesting.
Oh, that's an interesting law, but I guess each country has their own, laws and culture. It's
Yeah, I've seen enough episodes of Locked Up Abroad where I do not mess with foreign laws. Right? That'll scare you straight.
Yeah.
You got to do research before you fly
No,
into
that's
any
I
country.
think when you travel abroad, that's always been one of my fears is, here in the United States, you have rights, you can yell, kick, and scream, but some of these other countries, you go over there, you just become a statistic. And I did watch.
Did you guys watch the football world, the finals? Like some people were taking off their shirts and flashing. And in Qatar, the laws are you can't take off shirts or flash. And some girl was doing that, and everybody was praying that, hey, before they catch you, get out of the country. Otherwise, you're gonna be prosecuted. So.
Wow.
Wow, that's interesting. So does anybody have anything big for 2023 that they want to talk about? Ryan, you have that perplexing. What's your words of wisdom for 2023?
Man, putting me on the spot. 2023.
Well, you look like you had something to say.
No, I was thinking. That's what the beard is here for in part. So you can get some ideas out of it occasionally. 2023, I'm going to be doing a lot on on the CE side, moving into that part of it. CRM, I don't know if you guys are doing any of that, but I think it's really important.
You're leaving
since
us?
this is, what's that?
You're leaving us?
I'm not leaving you. I'll be doing BC, of course.
Okay.
But I think for all BC partners and all BC customers, understanding what's available in that stack is hugely important. But you could take some of the stuff that people have been customizing for years, you can leverage, right? And so if you're not leveraging all of it and you're not leveraging the Power Platform, then there's going to be some holes there. So that's what we're doing, right? Is being more holistic and from a business standpoint, leveraging all of the Dynamics tools, because it's better together, right? As Microsoft says. And I think we've got real momentum in the market, and I'm pulling for all the partners out there. And you said it earlier, someone said, working together and learning from each other. And of course that pertains to partners and ISVs, but it also pertains partner to partner. Many of you are friends of mine and people that I trust and talk to at the shows and learn from. And I think we can all do that from each other, because we're all on the same side of the boat, so to speak. We've got competitors out there, NetSuites and Salesforce of the world, and the more we can learn from each other and present a united front, the better, because we've got our competitors on our heels. Go ahead.
That is one thing that Microsoft certainly pushed. I recall in directions and in a lot of their notes, P2P is what they called it, partner to partner, and making sure that you all work, we all work together. And one of the things that you had mentioned, Ryan, about, understanding what other products that Microsoft are offering that all talks to each other. One of the things that I didn't quite mention, but this year my focus was getting all my fundamental certification for Microsoft, just for all the other products that are around Business Central. So like the FNSCM, and then you have your M365 fundamentals, and then you have your Power Platform. All those stuff talk to each other. And so if you're not on that journey, like I would probably look into that, especially if you're part of the sales engineering or selling the product or representing Business Central in general. It's a good idea to understand, like, hey, there's a lot of other tools that are outside of the Business Central space, and a partner should at least have a basic understanding of that.
Yeah, well said.
All right. I thank you much, Mr. Brenneman. I saw that you have to leave.
Cheers.
And I look forward to seeing you at the conference. And actually, I think I want to thank everybody. I wanted to get everybody together and just, say thank you, get everybody to talk with each other and say thank you for what you have done to help both Chris and I with the podcast this year. We have a lot of fun doing it. We enjoy speaking to every single one of you. All of you on this call, your time is valuable. I understand that. I mean, time is not free. We're all in that industry where time is not free. So
Brad will owe you a drink if he sees you guys.
I was just going to say that
on a conference.
Next conference we're at, I will buy each of you a drink. I may charge you back for it, but I may take one of yours. But no, we truly do appreciate it. I am appreciative of all of you and all that you have done for the community, all that you have done to help, Chris and I with this podcast. I mean that. I will have to do another one when I figure out how to do the poll, because I did want to do a Navision. We will use the word Navision. I'm giving all my answers away here. A Navision trivia contest, and we did have a prize for the winner. So I think maybe in the first quarter we'll schedule that up again, and I'll invite all of you, and you can't say no. It will become a mandatory meeting.
Thank you too. Thank you guys, Brad and Chris. Thanks for doing this. This has been phenomenal.
You guys have done a great job this year. Congratulations.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Mr. Ryan Polniak of Western Computer, Steph Hilfer from Vim, Camille from Data Coverage, Naveen from Dynamic eShop, Steve from everything. I don't even know what to say that you're from. You're on every single board in every single place. I don't know how you do it. But
he's in every single country now also.
It is. And
I'm
jumping with him, Mr. Brian Peterson and Anthony Bonaducci from Cosmos. You do owe me, along with Naveen and Steve for the big announcement. We appreciate Cosmos being here. I'm very happy to see what you guys have done. Camille, Data Courage, looking forward to speaking with you after the new year on AI, and the title that we have for that already is AI Rules the World. Kristen Hoffman, thank you for speaking with us about traveling as a consultant, all that you do. I enjoy creeping on your Twitter and sharing in your stories. I really do appreciate it and what you do for the community. And I am waiting for that that cuckoo clock TikTok Twitter post. Lindsay.
Twitter right now.
Oh, great. Thank you. I will have to check that out. And we will put in the show notes the link. I saw you posted the link to your BC Bedtime Tales. We will share that.
That doesn't look safe for work at all. The first screenshot, I was like, well, what am I getting
That's
now?
exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, BC Bedtime Tales, and I see a hotel room with everybody sitting on a bed. I was like,
there's two girls on a bed. It looks like a start of a very cheesy drama.
I did ask Kristen and Shannon if there's video footage of after they went out, because they filmed that before they went out, and they said that is in the vault. So
yeah. Steve is shaking his hand no to me because he knows there's video.
No, that's staying in the vault. It never comes out.
For now.
But you're among friends.
Yes,
we could share.
Yes,
is this why you're out of state, Steve?
Yes.
Listen, nobody will see it besides us on this podcast. Just put it
I'm
up.
not making that. I didn't make that promise. I didn't make that promise.
Well, Andrea, we're recording this, so obviously, do you get the joke?
I know. I was joking back, Brad. I was like, I'll share Kristen's videos.
Oh, okay. See, so the joke was on me, Mrs. Conference Lindsay, who taught me, if you listen back, we drank out of an ashtray. I never knew of anything so redneck in my life, and I live in redneck land, and I appreciate it. Mr. Dave Weiser, congratulations on going off your own. I wish you the best in doing that. I know there's a lot going on out there. Krista Visser from Continia, I do have to visit you. I was over in New York recently. I didn't get the opportunity to pop in and see you because I went in and out. Like
he was out of the country.
No, not when I went over to New York. But I was in. That's the day I flew in and flew out, same day. So it was a little rough. Andrea, I don't even know what to say. I'm still waiting for my other articles, and we have to schedule up this tax seminar that you vowed for me. Ashley, thank you as well for all that you've done. I'm still waiting for you to send me up some baked goods.
I already sent it. You didn't receive it?
Did you send it to the right address?
No, maybe not.
I do not go across the border too often. I still think they should build a wall between Massachusetts and New Hampshire, but we'll get there. Naveen, thank you with Dynamics eShop as well.
Thank you, Brad and Chris.
Steph, thank you very much for bringing somebody outside of the Business Central community. I appreciate your vigor. Enjoy your podcast. Look to have you back on, because we do have a workshop to do that we will record of how to brand and market a podcast. I will not forget.
Or branding and marketing in general.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to be a little selfish and get a little bit out of it. But I do. I think
what if everyone like told you guys what would be the most helpful thing that I could bring to the table? So then everyone was like getting a piece. Everyone could be selfish in a little way.
So you want me to solicit the community to see what they could benefit from a branding and marketing?
Well, if you choose to use the word solicit, then yeah, it sounds icky. But if it's a gift at Christmas time, then it sounds so much better.
So you're giving
in marketing.
You're giving a gift. So you're going to give the gift to everybody of helping them brand and market, which you do a great job, because when you were speaking with us, I visualized perfectly this warehouse and trucks and all these other things. So I think you do a great job. So
thank you. Yeah, I would happily give my brain if it would benefit the people in the room.
Oh, thank you. The virtual room. I like that. How you call it the room. See, you're good. I like that. But again, thank you, everybody. Mr. Ryan, you were late. I'll forgive you this time. And if anybody wants to come up and go hiking, let me know. And we'll do it. Steph, have you ever been to the East Coast?
No, but I want to go to New York super bad.
Don't
I
waste
have
your
to go to
time.
Florida. Like there's a lot of things I need to do. So I think it'll probably all layer up here.
I feel like I constantly get the runaround from everybody. There's a constant theme with me where I try to talk to people about doing things, and everybody just has a reason why. Like I said, Ryan blames having children. Like somebody who doesn't want to come visit me that badly that he has children. It's, to me, I feel like it says a lot. And but again, thank you to everybody. And Kristen, yes. Next time I'm in Colorado, I've been to Denver and Boulder, and I thought it was beautiful. I almost wanted to move, Red Rocks and all of the outdoors. It's a very outdoors area, and I appreciated that with all the sidewalks and trails. It was great. But
that's how we pick up most people that move there. They come here on vacation, and then they're like, "I could live here," and then they do.
Yes, it was beautiful out in Boulder. I didn't get to visit you at the time, Andrea. I was there for another opportunity, but I did get to meet up with some other coworkers with Ryan, and we had a great time in Boulder without you. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm in Boulder basically, so that is hurtful.
I'm sorry.
And Deion Sanders just moved there, so it must be nice, right?
It's expensive now. Just brace yourself. It's not a cheap state anymore.
I'm staying where I am.
No, I know.
All right. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We're doing the video here. So, Chris will have a lot of editing to do. I appreciate that. And we'll send out the links when it's done. And thank you again. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
Bye.
holidays.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Chris, for your time for another episode of In the Dynamics Corner Chair. And thank you to our guests for participating.
Thank you, Brad, for your time. It is a wonderful episode of Dynamics Corner Chair. I would also like to thank our guests for joining us. Thank you for all of our listeners tuning in as well. You can find Brad at developerlife.com. That is DVLPRLIFE.com. And you can interact with them via Twitter, DVLPRLIFE. You can also find me at matalino.io, MATALINO.io. And my Twitter handle is Matalino16. And you can see those links down below in the show notes. Again, thank you, everyone. Thank you, and take care.